Welcome to a new video of Pepin&Car. Today we are going to take a closer look at the sway bar and we are going to do a bit more of bodywork. Now we're not going to do a whole lot in this video, but I am going to do a little bit of explaining and the planning, but we're also going to turn some wrenches and just have some fun. Come and join me as we work on a two-stroke Saab where apparently every bolt comes loose because it's not an MX-5. Also, this has been helping me out a lot. Especially on the front end of this car, to know how the car was basically set up from the beginning and know exactly how to do things and how things are put together, and basically like these shims. I didn't know about the shims, and I now also ordered bigger shims. I can get more camber in the front because if you like it or not, I'm going to be driving this car hard, so that's why I have poly mounts, and everything is basically already set up for a more driving experience. Not per se a lot of power, but I wanted to corner like it's on rails, so that's really what I'm going for with these. Right, so with a bit of work I have gotten the line out, and I think I'm just going to replace this hole, or I'm going to see if this fitting can just be clean. It's starting to rain now, but yeah, I did some touch-up primer on the fender. I also had to check what color I had because I didn't find any notes of what color I used in the engine bay, and it's this one. So that's good. I ordered some extra for that. But basically I think I'm going to have to build new front lines just to be safe. A new thing that I want to try, something to remove that I have not yet understand or have been able to understand how this bar comes out. So there are two rubbers left and right come out because this amount of angle I don't think will fit through such a hole. I'm very curious on how this actually works because it has to probably work. I'm not sure, so we'll see. Yep, that's a 13. Okay. Oh, they were not that tight. I believe there are sets of these for sale to renovate them completely and to also get stiffer ones. I'm still debating if I want that right now or that I'll do that later, but if I know how this comes out, because I think if I want this upgraded I will have to do it before the transmission goes in, so it's kind of all stacking up before you know actually do something or have the car running. It's the classic case of while you're in there and eventually you have the entire thing upgraded for something it's not even driving yet. So okay, I did the other side as well. Then I'm guessing this drops out or like removes and then it slides off the arm, I think. Okay. Maybe if I rotate this. Come on. There you go. Okay. Make the bed. This is the metal frame. That is just a bracket. Okay. So now, does it want to slide over? Now it doesn't have any metal core that doesn't want to bend. Yes, it does. Now it's all rubbery and flexible. Now it wants to slide. You know what I should have used? WD-40. So is loose and it can turn. I don't think I need a hammer for this one. Come on. There you go. Now can I just press this off? Or... Hammer time! I would just like to add here that I'm not really destroying the threads because I'm only really like light taps, and that's not going to bend any metal what I'm doing here. It's just that I don't have enough force with my fingers. Remember, it's gentle taps only, so there's not going to be any damage to this. Here, I can still even see the paint. This is not going to be damaged, I swear. Okay. Oh, WD-40 does the trick. There you go. Okay. More old rubber off the car. More places for new rubber to go on. Now how in the world am I supposed to get this thing pulled out? Because if you can see right there, oh, does it make the bend? It is long enough. That's sick. Honestly, I didn't think it was able to do this. I think it's stuck on something. There we go. Let's push this through. Oh, that's a Saab sway bar, everybody. And I think that the only way to replace it is to have the actual engine removed and probably the transmission as well, because you have to have that room to maneuver. So that's awesome. Those holes were actually made big enough. That's really cool. Okay, so these brackets, they are going in the bin for sandblasting. That thing, I think I'm going to restore and sell, maybe. I don't think that there's maybe a lot of people looking for these ones, but I may just buy a replacement for it that's thicker to go more fast, of course. And then now we go on to painting. Hello guys! We have finally done something back to the car again. We have painted a fender in the different color that the engine bay is. This is the original color of the car, which is a little bit closer to that color. Here we also have so this is the lighter color. This is what the fender on the car now has been painted to, and this is what the inside of the engine bay has been painted to. And this is the original. So as you can see, they are three different colors, but we ended up deciding probably on the lighter one. It comes closer to the original. It's a little bit more light sky blue or ice blue, or how you want to call it. And this is on the car. Remember that the tent has more of an orange glow because of the sun hitting the orange tent. But you can clearly see that the color difference. Of course, this has also already been sanded as well, so this color is not quite true to the real color. This is more flat, and then this is still doesn't have a clear coat on it, so the reflections will be better, but still it looks pretty good. Yeah, and then the difference between the outside color and inside color, I think it's going to be okay, because I honestly don't want to repaint the inside of the engine bay, even though this is going to be more or less the party piece, so I would want to show it. But as you can see right here, when we're working on stuff, the inside paint is already getting scratched, and it's not as pretty as I probably would want it to be, but it's functional and it works. So yeah, it's pretty enough for me. Maybe at some later stage when I'm way older I'll redo it, but for now this looks pretty cool. Oh, and remember, there should be a rubber strip right here. This is just a mock-up. There's one bolt in, and it's just held in with the door. So it's by no means is this going to stay like this. We still have to fix up some spots. There, you can see that like right here, and at the bottom here we have a line and some other stuff. So yes, right. I think we've made a idea of what we want to do, and it's going to be this color. Right now it's very greenish. We're going to re-primer it, and we are going to use a filler primer spray. I have never used this in my life. No idea how it works. No idea if it works. But there's no time to learn better than now, so we'll see. I just want to put a disclaimer here that I put on this paint way too thick, so don't replicate what I'm doing here. As I already mentioned, I have no idea how this stuff worked, and apparently I used too much too soon, and that means that I now have some kind of clay substance on top of it, and it's very hard to remove. So it's been drying for a little bit now, and later I'm going to try and sand everything off. But don't do what I'm doing here. Well, at least not as thick, but this stuff apparently does work. Part of the learning process is also making mistakes. So I made a nice mistake. Apparently you only have to use very light coats. I thought that it wasn't filling in well, but apparently it does the filling in later, so I know that now. Basically I tried to stuff it up here and there already, but it's still hardening out apparently because I did it on too thick. You can see right here, I just kind of removed it with my finger and thought this is what happened. So now I know that it does this, which is not a big problem. I will just like sand everything off again, and hopefully it will actually fill in the spots that it's supposed to fill in. Like over here there was like a damaged area, and here's a big scar, and hopefully when we now go over it with the machine, it will then equalize the bumps. I think this is never going to be very perfectly round, but we can at least try to make it nicer than it already is. But this is probably going to need some further repair. It isn't the perfect build, not by any means, so it's more of a hobby project. And she's hard at work doing the other fender now with the machine, and making sure that everything is nice and flat before we go into the light coats of filler primer. Whilst I've been working on my car, my dad has been working on his project, which is a CB550 Honda motorcycle, which I think he is adjusting. Yeah. Ja.
De rest hier zo, als je hier op heen gaat.
Maar ik voel me wel onevenheden hoor. Een beetje, maar misschien met de eerste primer en dan weer schuren. Normal primer. Because I used a little bit too much of the other primer. And now I'm going to
Way too much.
sand it off all over again. So it basically became like a clay layer on top. Who would have known? And now for those of you that actually like old timers, Now we're gonna take a look at my dad on his CB550. Een fantastische lucht.
Gaan we nog eten, hè?
Ja, maar Lian, dit is een leuke foto zo. Pap, blijf even staan. Give a big thanks to the people who've made it this far into the video, and I'm really excited to what this car is going to turn into.